So if you're looking for a job, you'll likely have to go through an interview during the hiring process. It can be kind of difficult to think on your feet. That's why Randy Wooden is here to talk about ways to kind of work through that. Good morning to you.
Hi, good morning.
So it's difficult when someone asks you a question because the first thing you want to do is think about it,
Sure.
right?
Yeah. And silence.
Silence is not a good thing.
Oh, sometimes, actually, silence is a very powerful tool or weapon, especially if you want to intimidate somebody. But
you don't want to do that, not in a job interview.
No, and it makes you feel nervous. Or people get on air and they get nervous. They stammer and they don't know what to say. Exactly.
Which is buying time.
Well, one of the things that I find useful, not just in interviewing, Brad, but also in everyday conversation, is the use of a cushion.
Okay.
And just like you sit on a cushion, it softens the drop, if you will.
Right.
It softens things. And a cushion is used during an interview when you're faced with a difficult question. For example, questions about, gee, I see you haven't worked in 10 months.
Right.
Or I see you don't have a degree. Or, gee, I don't see that you have what we're looking for here. Or they question you. And instead of just kind of coming back with a, oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, or no, that's not a problem. Why not take a moment to say, you know, I've been asked that before. Let me address that. Or if I were in your shoes, I'd probably have the same question. Let me talk about that. It allows you time to think, drop your defenses.
In the meantime, you're kind of, okay, well, how am I going to process this? And in that couple of seconds, maybe you're getting a better answer, I guess.
Same thing in everyday life. Brad, how come every time you step out there, you do that? Whoa. Now we're confrontational. So this allows you to drop your defenses. Okay. Gee, you know, I didn't know you were aware of that. Let's talk about that. Now, I know that's a little silly, but again, those are tools that you can use in everyday conversation, including during the interview.
Okay, now you're dealing with this and a lot of other things. You've got a series going in the Winston-Salem Journal, and people can kind of pick up on those tips there too.
Sure.
Like, what are some other things?
Oh gosh, one of the questions, well, let me just talk broad topic for a second. When people hire people, in broad terms, they're looking at two things.
Okay.
One is, can you do a good job?
Sure.
The other one is, do I like you? Do I feel like you can fit in here? Can I see you working on my team, or can I see you in front of our customers, and that kind of a thing?
That's a real intangible, isn't it?
It sure is. And here's the deal. The question of why should we hire you gives people trouble. It shouldn't. Let's talk about that for a second.
Okay.
Most times the answer is going to be simply, I can do the job. I have the skills, blah, 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 blah. And you know what? Fine. I've got 5 guys sitting out there in the lobby.
Those skills.
They all have the skills, and if they didn't, they wouldn't be in there. So all that does is hold your spot in line.
Sure.
The second piece then is to first say that and then come back with, but you know, everybody probably has that. Here's what separates me. And that's where you talk about your drive, your enthusiasm, your passion for what you do.
Yeah, that's a good
and
point.
you can't teach those things. You either have them or you don't. And that's what may separate me and why you should hire me.
Okay, real quickly, you've got an event coming up where people can really kind of focus on ways to get into that job, right?
Yeah, big event. We'll have over 25 resources. It's our annual summertime resource and networking event. We can't divulge the date and time. It's not a job fair, but it's a resource fair, and it is closed to our clients only. But it's free to become a client.
Right.
We just need to know who you are and make sure we have enough space. So you can email your resume for consideration. It's mid-August, I'll tell you that.
Okay.
So you've got a couple, 3-4 days for sure to send your resume.
Okay, well, tell you what, let's give you the information if you want to get in touch with Randy. As he said, it's a great event, a great opportunity. It really could be the break you're looking for. If you want to get in touch with Randy, his number's on your screen right now, 776-6829. Or drop him an email, and I guess they can email their resume to that as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah, the email, procenter@Goodwill NWNC, for Goodwill of Northwest North Carolina, but procenter@GoodwillNWNC.org. Randy, thank you very much.
Thank you.